The house stood silent, imposing. A darkness clung to it, a palpable sense of dread that seeped from the very foundation. This was no ordinary house. This was 1677, Round Top Road, Harrisville, Rhode Island, a place where evil lingered, where the veil between our world and the next was thin. Built in 1736, the house had borne witness to centuries of suffering, its history stained with tales of madness, death, and the whispers of unspeakable horrors. Some whispered of a witch, Bathsheba Sherman, who cursed the land, her malevolent spirit forever bound to the property. Others spoke of tragic deaths, of families torn apart by unseen forces. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain: 1677, Round Top Road was a house haunted. The stories clung to the house like cobwebs, each one adding another layer of fear and intrigue. There were tales of children being harmed, their laughter turning to screams in the dead of night. Farmers spoke of livestock found mutilated, their eyes wide with a terror that chilled the soul. And then there were the whispers of the unseen, disembodied voices, cold spots, and the feeling of being watched, always watched, by something ancient and evil. The land itself seemed to exude a palpable sense of dread, as if the very earth was stained with the darkness that had unfolded within the house's walls. Those who dared to approach spoke of a coldness that gripped them, a feeling of being unwelcome, of trespassing on something sacred and profane. In 1971, the Perron family, unaware of the darkness that awaited them, moved into 1677, Round Top Road. Roger and Carolyn Perron, along with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, were a typical family seeking a fresh start in a spacious farmhouse. They had no idea that they were stepping into a nightmare. The first few days were deceptively calm, the house seemingly holding its breath, waiting. Then, the disturbances began, subtle at first, like a whisper in the darkness. Doors creaked open on their own, revealing only darkness. The scent of rotting flesh wafted through the house, a sickening reminder that something was amiss. Carolyn, a devout Catholic, began to notice strange occurrences, objects moving inexplicably, furniture overturned as if tossed by an unseen hand. The children, too, experienced the house's malevolence. They felt cold spots, their laughter echoing in empty rooms, their toys seemingly possessed, moving on their own. Whispers followed them, disembodied voices that sent shivers down their spines. Fear, like a creeping sickness, began to infect the family, poisoning their once happy home. As days turned into weeks, the paranormal activity intensified, becoming more brazen, more sinister. Beds shook violently in the middle of the night, as if unseen hands sought to drag the parents into the darkness below. One daughter, Cindy, began talking to an imaginary friend, a young boy named Rory, who claimed to live within the walls. Another daughter, Andrea, was physically assaulted by an unseen entity, leaving her bruised and terrified. The attacks escalated, becoming more frequent and more violent. Carolyn, desperate for answers, began researching the history of the house, uncovering its dark past and the legend of Bathsheba Sherman. The entity, sensing their fear, seemed to feed off it, growing stronger with each passing day. The Perron family found themselves trapped in a living nightmare, their once happy home transformed into a prison of fear. Strange smells permeated the air, the stench of rotting flesh, the cloying aroma of perfume from an unseen presence. Objects flew across rooms with terrifying force, narrowly missing the terrified family. One evening, as Carolyn sat in the living room, a broom detached itself from the wall and hurled itself at her, the wooden handle cracking against the wall inches from her head. Terror, raw and consuming, became a constant companion.